Hello. It's is it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday the 29th of April. Welcome to the live exercise class. Before we start, I'm going to talk a little bit about the benefits of exercise, just for 5 minutes. I mean, everybody knows about the benefits, don't we? It's good for your heart, good for your lungs, good for your bones, good for your muscles. And we've talked a little bit before about sarcopenia and the muscle wastage and how exercise can help prevent that. And the bones, if you've got, most people know about osteoporosis. So if you're doing weight bearing, like walking, carrying heavy shopping, it's good for your bones. And also strong muscles. You need strong bones to support strong muscles. But there are more benefits than we realize. And the more I dig into this, the more I'm just blown away by the benefits of exercise. I think mental health is being talked about a lot at the moment. And although I don't think there are many actual sort of double-blind type studies on mental health, just anecdotally, you do feel better after exercise. I mean, I think most of you know I run. And even although some days I have to force myself out the door, I never come back and think, oh, I wish I hadn't done that run. My mood is always lightened. And it doesn't just work just immediately post-exercise. It works for quite a long time afterwards. If I haven't been able to run for a while, I notice my mood generally dipping. Exercise, another sort of benefit of the mental health thing, is that exercise means that you can go out, you can socialize, you can have a life. And that obviously, not at the moment, obviously, but that boosts your mental health. What a lot of people don't know is that exercise or physical activity plays a large part in disease prevention. Now, obviously, you can't prevent every single disease, and it's not 100%. But did you know that walking, just purely walking, particularly in postmenopausal women, reduces estrogen, and estrogen is a cause of breast cancer. It can stop some endometrial cancers as well. It can help prevent prostate cancer. Obviously, postmenopausal women don't get prostate cancer, and bowel cancer as well. And also, there's an awful lot talked about at the moment about type 2 diabetes. And exercise, walking particularly again, or running, increases insulin sensitivity. Type 2 diabetes is not caused by lack of insulin, or not always. It can be caused by your body just gets, if you eat a lot of carbohydrate, you need a lot of insulin to take the carbohydrate out of the blood. If you're eating loads and loads and loads of carbohydrate, apart from making you fat, it also reduces your sensitivity to insulin until the insulin just really stops working almost. Exercise can increase your sensitivity to that. And obviously, type 2 diabetes is in the news a lot at the moment. Because of the sensitivity to COVID-19, but also generally about the amount of distress it causes. People think, oh, it's only type 2 diabetes, but further down the line, the amount of distress it causes to people is not to be underestimated. And lastly, what was I going to say? Yes, just generally your quality. Oh yeah, weight loss. People think that you exercise for weight loss. Don't. You exercise to be strong. You reduce your food. You change the way you eat for weight loss. It's as simple as that. Although, having said that, they found that, the visceral fat, the fat that's inside that you can't see, they found that walking and running is quite effective in reducing visceral fat, which they think plays a large part in cardiovascular disease and diabetes and some cancers. But lastly, it's quality of life as well. If you can get up and round and about and do your everyday stuff, who's not going to like that? I see a lot of, my postman's coming. I see a lot of things you see a lot on television about loneliness. And before COVID, it occurred to me that an awful lot of the people who were feeling lonely were housebound. They couldn't get out of the house because they just lost the ability to walk. So walking, walk, 6,000 steps every day. That's the recipe. That's Rosemary's recipe for health, is 6,000 steps a day. How's it going? Right, it's 11 o'clock. So welcome to people. I'm just going to have a little look at the screen. Hi, Nola, Elizabeth, Joyce, Nikki. Hello. There's 23 other people, or 20 other people who aren't sort of logged in, as it were, so I can't see who they are. But hello, everybody. Anyway, today it's occurred to me that I've been neglecting the chair a bit. So all the exercises that I'm going to show you, bar one, I think, can be done in the chair if you need to. And if it needs any adaptation, I'll show you how to do it. So what we're going to do is just start. If anybody's new, we start with a warm-up, then we have the main component of the exercises, and then we have stretching. So when you think the exercises are finished, don't rush off because we're doing stretching. So we're just walking on the spot, very gently, hardly raising our feet above the floor. If you're in the chair, you can do this as well, just like this, very gently. If you're standing, on your toes, if you can. If you can't, that's fine. Do it for a short while and then go back to not doing your toes. It's absolutely fine. Remember to move your arms because we want to mobilize the shoulders and the elbows and the wrists. So we want those to be moving. I suppose your wrists and your elbows don't move much in this exercise, do they? Now, for those of you that have been with me for quite a long time, you don't need to, this is entirely voluntary. You can either keep marching, but we're going to put our hands on the shoulders and just stretch up. If you can, keep marching. If it's a bit tiring, just do the arms and then down and then out to the side, back in, forward and back. I'm going to do that another 2 times. So up, down, side, forward. Once more, up, out, forward, back. Right, so we're going to do a little bit, we've been marching quite a long time if you've been doing all that. So what we're going to do is we're going to just do a heel dig. Just dig your heel in front of you, not very far. You don't need to take a big step. What you're doing is you're just mobilizing this one mobilizes the hip, the knee, and the ankle because you're pulling your toe back. But at the same time, those of you who have been with me for a while, anchor your elbows and you're going to do a bicep curl on the opposite leg. Opposite, remember. Just have a check and see. Yes, I am. I thought for a moment there I wasn't doing opposite arm and leg. So it's opposite arm and leg. You got that? Don't need to do it fast. We'll go down 3, 2, 1. Next one. I'm just going to move this chair a bit. It's going to go out to the side. Again, this is doing the same thing. It's mobilizing the hip and the knee and the ankle. But also, I mean, like the other ones as well, it's a balancing one because you are slightly overbalancing and you're standing on one leg very briefly. So it's strengthening that leg and improving your balance. And then arms out, improving your coordination as well. Oh, it's got everything. I might bottle these exercises and sell them. Don't need to go fast. 3, 2, 1. Right, the next one is just taking a step back. Just like that. Just keep doing that for the moment. Those of you who have been with me for a while can do the arms as well. I'll show you actually the arms. And then at the same time, as you step back, you're pushing your arms out. So you're putting your arms backwards and forwards at the same time as you're stepping out. If you're in the chair, this is the one that you can't, one of the warm-ups that you can't do. Just try and lift your arm like that, your feet. your leg. You can tell I'm a trained professional, can't you? That's what you do. Those of us that are standing, going to keep doing this. 3, 2, jazz hands, 1. Last one. Is that the way again? It's going to do a toe tap. So the first time we were pulling our toe back, this time we're pointing it. Just a tiny step, and at the same time, do your arm, your bicep curl again. Opposite arm and leg. Make sure that you're doing opposite arm and leg. The other 2 exercises that we've just done are a bit easier because they use both arms at the same time. This one you have to concentrate a little bit. Right, 3, 2, 1. Right. On Saturday, we concentrated quite a lot on the arms. And we're going to do that again today. I think each day I might have a separate theme. So maybe we'll have a core day and an arms day and a leg day. But I mean, even so, we still do exercises for the whole body. And we were doing this one. Now, some people have contacted me and said they found the arm exercises quite helpful. My shoulders were a bit sore for a while. So what we're going to do is just have the arms straight out like this. And then we're going to twist, keeping your head still. All you're doing is twisting your body so that your arms are still horizontal. Your hips should be still forward, actually, and back. I'll do that sideways so that you can see. So the arms go, I'm looking this way, but you look forward. So your arms are still like that. Okay, so feet slightly wider than hip width apart. And we're going to do 5 on each side. So we're going to go twist, twist, and this just mobilizes your spine a wee bit. Because we especially, that's 2 on each side. 3, 4. Concentrate on trying to keep your hips facing forwards. You can do this in the chair, and it's actually quite effective doing it in the chair because obviously your hips can't move because they're sitting on the chair. But this is quite a good one to do in the chair. And then down. How was that? Just to get a little bit of wiggling in your arms, we're going to put a hand on the shoulder. Imagine you've got a pencil sticking out, and we're going to do backwards for 5 and forwards for 5. Draw an imaginary circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and slow. 5. Full range of movement as you can. 1. As big a circle as you can. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do the other arm. Make sure it's sticking straight out if you can. Try not to have it there. And then back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then forward for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, how's that? Right, we're going to just do a little bit of shadow walking. Now, I'm going to turn my back on you. Remember how the shadows used to do it? If you're in the chair, you won't be able to do this warm-up bit, but what I'd quite like you to do is you can actually, yeah. Yes, I'll show you the shadow walk and then I'll show you what to do in the chair while the others are in the shadow walk. Right. Can you see my feet? I hope you can. So we're going to go forward, side, back, back. 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 If you're in the chair, just go right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. Or you can go side, right foot, left foot, just going out to the side. Are you still doing the shadows? right, cross, back, back. Right, stop. And we're going to do it the other way. Left foot, cross, back, back. Left, cross, back, back. Left, cross. Be careful with this because you are twisting a bit. You are unbalanced slightly. Keep doing it. Yeah, you are quite unbalanced doing that, so be careful when you're doing that. All right, you can cease and desist. Right, what we're going to do now, just to complete the warm-up, is we're going to just do that. Remember we're going to just do our little routine. So we're going to do heel dig, side, back, and then toe tap. Heel dig, remember the arms, side, back, and then toe tap. Heel dig, we're going to do it twice more. Side, back, toe tap. One more time. Heel dig, side, back, and then toe tap. Remember that because we'll be doing it at the end of the session to not music, to imaginary music. Right, we're going to start the main part of the exercise now, and as ever, I'm going to start with a squat. Right. What I'm going to try and do is vary some of the exercises, but there are always going to be core exercises, not this core, but main exercises that won't change. And the squat is one of them because it's so important to have these strong thighs and glutes for everyday living. Fit for life, this course is called. And that's what it's trying to make you, fit for everyday life, so that you don't have to use adapted aids, you don't lift me and you run upstairs like a young'un. So squat will always be here, I'm afraid. So those of you that can't do a free squat sitting in the chair, remember, don't let your knees come in, standing up, or you can do it like I showed you on the MOT. If you watched the MOT that I did on Saturday, arms like this. If you need to swing your arms to give you a bit of momentum, that's fine. Control the seating bit. Put your hands on your legs if you need to, only if you need to. Those of you who can do the free squat, remember, legs hip width apart and it's sticking your bottom out. It's not doing that. Your knees don't come over your toes. It's sitting down without the chair. So you stick your bottom out, and if you only want to go down that far, that's absolutely fine. You can dig into your thighs, you can feel that, and in your bum muscles. So we're going to do 10 squats, or 10 getting up and down with control from the chair. And as we come up, we're going to push our pelvis forward just to stretch these hip flexors a bit. Right, so I'm not going to go down very far today. So we're going to go down and then up. 1, 2, 3. Technique is more important than anything. 4. If you can only get to 5 or 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, I've lost count now. 6, that's fine. 7. As soon as your technique goes, 8, 9, 10. As soon as your technique goes, stop, because you're not deriving any benefit and you might injure yourself. I'd rather you did 2 squats with good technique than 10 with poor technique. Right, the next one we're doing is a seated one, so I don't need to show any adaptations for this one. It's the seated row. So those of you that have a band, get your band. Those of you that don't have a band can still do the exercise just without the band. So you're sitting on the edge of your chair with your feet, toes pulled back. Loop the band around your feet and have quite a bit of tension on it. I haven't got the very strong band today. So you're sitting like this, sitting up nice and straight with a good bit of tension on the band. It's pulling your arms forward. I'm just going to change my direction so that you can see what I'm doing. Now remember, your feet do not leave the ground. You're always sitting there with your feet, with your Feet dorsiflexion, remember, pull back, nice and tight, and your arms you pull your arms back. It's only your arms that move. You don't, and your elbows skim your sides. Imagine you've got a Coke can between your shoulder blades, and then control it back. If you haven't got any bands, do this action without the bands. 2, as usual, we're going to do 10. 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I've got a much lighter band than I had on Saturday. 7. Yes, on Saturday. 8. But it's still, I can still feel it. 9, because I've increased the tension. 10. Okay? Next one is the hip abduction. This is one that will always be in this as well. That's the one where you're putting your leg out to the side. Just before, if you want to, you can hold your leg out there, just while I show anybody that needs to be in the chair what we do. Or you can do it in the chair if you want. So you put the band under your knees and then bring it over and hold it on either side. Your knees are together, and then I want you just to open your knees so that your hips are parallel. Your thighs are parallel, sorry. And then when we raise our leg, what you're going to do is just open. So you're fighting against the band and bring it back to parallel. Don't let your knees touch. So you start off parallel, you go wide, you end up parallel. So if you need to do that in the chair, fine. If you're standing up, you can hold on because it's not a balanced one. Leg up to the side. Remember, keep your feet parallel. Don't point your toe. 1. And remember, it's a lifting movement. 2. 3. 4. There's all sorts of muscles around your body that you need to strengthen. 5. Because you think of all the different things the body can do. 6. 7. You watch some 8 of Alice Roberts' programs, Dr. Alice Roberts. 9. I love her programs. 10. And she explains why human beings have. If you're doing this in the chair and you've done 10, you can stop. You can relax for a few seconds. Right, she had a very compelling program. 1, explaining one of the reasons why we have the brain that we have. And she thinks that walking upright, 3, was key to that. Walking upright is really difficult. 4, if you think the size of us and the little bits we're balancing on. 5, and apparently we've got a muscle at the back here, which means 6, that we can run without our head falling forward. 7, and we're not good at fast running, but we're very good at endurance. 8, 9, 10. Good. Little bit of an anthropology lesson there as well. Don't say I don't ever give you anything. Right, because we're concentrating on the arms a bit today. Get ready. So we're going to do, you can do this in the chair as well. I don't know why I keep looking at the chair as if there's a person there. Hello. Right, we're going to do this one. Nice and slow. And remember, when your arm comes back, so you want full range of movement. Now, full range of movement doesn't necessarily mean as full a range as I have. Full range means your full range. Don't force anything. If it only goes to there, only let it go to there. It's just the constant moving that will loosen it and get the muscles ready. So we're going to do 10. So do that. 1, I'm not going to talk in this one, so as I count properly. 2, Nice and controlled. 3, feet hip width apart, remember. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, without stopping, we're going to do the other way now. So hands on thighs, and we're going to rotate and touch your hands above your head. I'm going to go back a little bit. Rotate again and bring them back so you're at the starting position. That's 1. Rotate, up, rotate, down. Nice and controlled. Rotate, up. When you're pushing down, pretend you're pushing down on a spring. Rotate, lifting up the spring. Rotate, down. 5, up. 6. Remember the rotation each time, that's important. 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. So that was quite a lot on your shoulders, that, and your arms. Right. The next one is a balancing exercise and a strength exercise, actually. Strengthens, good for the strength of your legs. If you're in the chair, if you can stand up and get behind your chair, you can do this. If I know that somebody was thinking of joining who has hurt her ankle. So if you've got an injury to your leg, this may be difficult, although you could do it on your good leg, maybe. So balancing one. So have the chair there, just in case you need it. Now remember, we're going to engage core. So that's, you breathe out, pull your navel into your backbone as hard as you can, and then relax it slightly. And that tenses all the muscles around your spine and holds you rigid. Okay, so, and then what we're going to do is raise one leg. Now you can either raise it slightly more or straighten it. Now the straightening one is pretty hardcore. So just feel, if you want to just lift it up there, that's absolutely fine. And this does your lower abs, does your thigh muscles. It's quite hardcore at the same time as trying to balance. Right, so engage core, navel into backbone, relax slightly, and stand on one leg. And then if you want, raise it slightly higher. But if you're not going to raise it higher, if you're hardcore, straighten it and then down. We're going to do 7 on each side. Up, down. Yeah, we did 6 last week. We're going to do 7 this week. This is 3, up and down. 4, up and down. 5, up and down. Keep going, even if you have to grab hold of the chair. Is that 5 or 6? I think that was 5. 6, I mean. Up and down. Is that 7? Let's do one more for luck, because I have lost count. Up, up, down. Okay, move the chair. Well, you don't need to move the chair. You can move your body. I'm moving the chair so that you can still see me. Right, engage core. Pull navel in. Relax slightly. And then up. Oops, sorry. This helps if you can focus. And then up and down. Up. And then, if you want to, straighten. If not, up, down. 2. I'm going to count properly this time. Whoops, falling over here. 3. Up. 4. 5, 6, 7. The reason I get you to do that and rather than just holding it is because it unbalances you slightly. So you've got to rebalance. So you're constantly having to readjust where you are. Right. This next one, excuse me a minute, I'm just going to put a, no, I'm not. This next one is a tricep one. So it's for these muscles on the back of your arms. Now, you can do this in the chair. Hello, imaginary person. So what you do is you put your hand, your band over your shoulder, holding it there, remember. Now this one is quite tricky technically until you get to grips with it. So what you're going to do is you want your your arm to be back like that. So if you're going to smack somebody on the head with a hammer and your arm is just going up to the ceiling, your shoulder isn't moving. It's not this movement. It's pointing at the ceiling. If you can't get your arm, I'm going to come forward a bit. If you can't get your arm like that, right back, have it there and then point it at the floor. Again, it's just your forearm that moves, not your shoulder. This one might be easier. It's slightly easier, but it's still, it's still the same muscle that's moving. You control the tension by the one on the back. Okay, so if you're ready, so arm right back if you can. If not, there. We're going to do 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Should feel it on the back of your arm. 5. If the muscle opposite your bicep, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you remember a while ago I was talking about how you exercise and exercising consciously? You should feel a pull there. If you don't feel it there, tighten the tension. Check that you're actually just using your forearm. Switch over. Arm back. Tension here or there. Just get the tension right. You can slacken it off here. You're in control of it. Maybe if you don't have a band, you can still do this. In fact, if you're finding it difficult with the band, it might be easier to do it without the band. 1, 2. I'm standing like this so that you can see what I'm doing. 3. You don't need to stand like this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. That's a tricky one to get to grips with. Right. We're going to do a little bit. This is a balancing one. I'm moving the chair out of the way. If you're in the chair, actually, I think this is probably one you're not going to be able to do. So what you could do is just march on the spot while we're doing this. And we're just going to go on our toes. This is balancing and changing direction. But be careful because we'll be walking backwards. And that's a trip hazard. That's an overbalance thing. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. On your toes all the time. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Last time. 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well done. If you can, throughout the day, if you can remember, just walk on your toes for a bit because it's great for your calves, it's great for your ankles, without benefit of high heels, obviously. And just walk on your toes for a while, which is very, very good for you. Right, the next one we're doing is the upward row, this one. Now, if you haven't got bands, put your hand into your, hold your thumb, so you've got that V there, and remember, it's the elbows that come up. The hands are lagging behind. I'll show you how to do this in the chair as well in a moment. For those of you standing, stand on the band, cross it over, cross it like that. I'm going to come forward again so you can see my hands. Hands like that and up, but maintain that V. Doesn't matter if you only go to there, as long as you've got that V. If you're in the chair, we're going to do this together. So those of you that are set and ready, just hang on for a moment. Sit in the fairly near the front of the chair. Have your feet hip width apart like this. Standing on the band, and then cross the band over and bring it in, bring it between your legs. So you're starting like this and you're going up like that. If you don't have a band, you can just sit like this and do it that way. So, are you ready? We're going to do 10. So, 1, 2, 3. This is just as effective sitting down actually. 4, but I want you to stand if you can. 5, control the downward one. 6, number 7, keep those elbows up. 8, back nice and straight, don't rock. 9, 10. Fabulous. Woo. Getting all tangled up in my band here. Right. Obviously, no, it's not obvious, but squats are so important that we do them twice. As I explained before, it's only because I love you and want you to do the best you can. Right, now you're a bit warmed up as well, a bit more practice. You could maybe go a little bit deeper, but if you can't, it doesn't matter. We're going to do 10. Remember, don't let your knees come in. On the chair, you can just stand up. If you can't stand up, just do this with your legs. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, check those knees. 4, are they going over your toes? 5, 6, looking forward. 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Last one before we go into our routine. You can do this one on the chair as well. Feet slightly wider than hip width apart. We're going to do side bend. And we're going to just go down to the side. If you want, you can put your hand over. If you've got problems with your shoulders, you might not find it comfortable, so don't do it. And then back up. We're going to do 6, maybe 7. See how I feel. 2, 3. This is good for your spine. Good for your core. So this is 5, 6. Let's do one more. We did 7 of the balancing ones. We'll do 7 of these. Woof. Right, other side. So, 1 arm up if you want. Remember, if it's difficult. 2, if it's difficult, don't do it or it's painful. 3. So, an easier way is you go, if you breathe out and then breathe in. 5, and then out 6, 7. I do find it easier with that breathing, actually. Right, we're going to do our little routine. I apologise every time for this, that not having the music, but copyright laws and all the rest of it. So we'll go through it quite nice and slowly to begin with, and then back. The reason I'm doing this is because it warms you up for the stretching as well. And plus, if you've got music, put it on, and it's fun. The MOT that I showed you on Saturday, the MOT I put up, it's better if you're warmed up if you do it. So if you can do this routine, put some music on and just go with the beat. Do it one more time. Oops, I'm getting. And then we'll go into the, right. Is it in there? Right, ready? I just have to get the proclaimers playing in my head. Right, so side, back, top, toe, heel dig, side, back, 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 toe, heel dig, side, it's a long record this, back, toe, heel dig, side, back, one more time, toe, heel dig, side, back, toe. How did that go? Are you getting any better at it? I'm never sure if people have music on or anything. Right, we're going to go into the stretches now. So get your chair. And remember, the reason I'm hesitating is because I'm trying to figure out how to do it on the chair. I'll show you in a minute. So 1 foot forward, both feet pointing forward, back leg straight, heel on the ground, front leg bent and lean forward. And then you should feel the stretch just behind your calf. Keep doing it, don't stop because I've stopped. If you're in the chair, sit forward and just do the, I have to show you this way. Point your toes, sitting like this, legs out straight, just do that. Just pointing your toes and then bringing it back. So you keep doing that. Those that are doing the dynamic stretch, the static stretchers, just slightly bend your back knee, your back leg, your heel comes off the ground and you feel the stretch going down into your Achilles. And then swap legs, back leg straight, make sure both feet are pointing forward, feel the stretch behind your knee. Not concentrating here. Bend your back knee slightly, heel comes off the ground, feel the stretch going down into your Achilles. You know what you're doing. Right, next one is stretching the thigh muscles, the quadriceps. If you're in a chair, I don't think you're going to, I can't figure out a way of doing this if you're sitting in the chair, so just sit this one out. So those of you that can, grab your foot, your heel, your trouser leg, your sock, and have your toes, your knees together, knees together. Those of you that can't do that, just do this with your legs. And this is dynamic stretching. So by moving this way, you are stretching the calf, the thigh muscle. Those of you that are doing the static stretching, hold it for a few more seconds. And now swap legs. Those of you that are doing this dynamic stretching, keep doing this. And we'll do this for a few more seconds. Okay, that's it for that one. Now we're going to do the hamstrings, big muscles at the back of your legs. For this one, you need to sit at the edge of the seat, sitting up nice and straight, knees at 90 degrees, one leg forward, toe pulled back, dorsiflexion, sitting up nice and straight, and then you lean forward from the hips, not from the waist. Did you try this as a flexibility test on Saturday? Because this is one of the flexibility tests with the ruler. If you haven't seen it, have a look at the Saturday video that's on the Facebook, on my Facebook channel. Doesn't matter how far down you get with this, don't bounce. Some people do that to try and get further. Don't bounce. It doesn't matter how far you get, as long as you're getting a stretch on the back of your leg that suits you. And then we're going to sit up, and then I'll repeat on the other leg. So sitting up nice and straight, lean forward. Stretching should be challenging but not painful. It's important to be flexible because it can help prevent falls. Okay, right. Either standing up or in your chair, hands out to the side, palms facing forwards, feet hip width apart, not if you're in the chair, obviously. Round the tree, have a circle there, hands at shoulder height, and then dip your head. What you're trying to do is separate your shoulder blades and get a good stretch across those big muscles at the top of your back, across your shoulders. They're quite difficult to stretch, but I quite like this one. Find it quite therapeutic. And then, if you can, interlink your fingers behind your back. If you can't, just get your elbows as close together as possible. Imagine you've got a Coke can between your shoulder blades, you're squidging it. If you can interlink your fingers, just lift your arms up slightly so that you get a good stretch across your chest. This can be done in the chair quite satisfactorily as well. You may not be able to do this in the chair because of the back, but you can still do this one. Step back a bit, the top of my head's been cut off a bit. Right. Next one we're going to do is the shoulder here. So put your arm across your chest, take your other hand, push your elbow so that you're stretching this bit here. Ow. It's sort of pulling and stretching at the same time. Quite a lot of people, if they have trouble with their shoulders, this one is painful. And if it's painful for you, don't do it. You're not getting any benefit from it if it's painful. Pain is nature's way of saying, don't do that. Okay, and then switch over. And then we're going to stretch this muscle here because we worked that when we were doing that. So hand up and down. Take your other hand and push your elbow back. If you can't get your hand up, your arm up like this, just go as far as you can. But the higher you get it, the better, because you get a stretch there. So I should be doing that, shouldn't I? And then the other one. Okay. Last 3 exercises, 3 stretches. So sitting down for this, remember when you sit down, don't use the back of the chair. If you're doing the session in the chair, try not to use the back. Try and use your own back muscles to support you. So this one, we're just going to look down, dip our head, put your hand on your crown, but don't push. Just let the weight of your hand push your head down slightly, but don't physically push. So the neck is quite a delicate instrument. You don't want to hurt it. And bring your head up. And this one, if you haven't been in this session before, just watch. We're going to turn our head to the side, put your hand on your chin, try and turn your head back to the center, but resist with your hand. So you're trying to do it, but you're creating tension in your neck. And then you relax the tension totally and see if you can turn your head even just a tiny bit to the left. So those of you that know how to do it may have already started that, I don't know. So turn your head to the left. Notice where your chin is in relation to your shoulder. Don't move your shoulders, just your head. Hand on your chin. Turn your head, try and turn your head back to the center. Resist with your hand. Create that tension in your neck and then release and see if you can turn your head a little bit more. And then bring your head back to the center and turn your head to the right. Hand on your chin. Try and turn your head back to the center. Really have a fight going on. And then release and see if you can turn your head just slightly more to the right. Just hold it there for a couple of seconds and then bring your head back to the center. And that is that. Thank you very much for joining me. Next session will be on Saturday. Whoops, here I am. Saturday, 11 o'clock. 10 to 11 for a little chat to begin with. If you've got any topics you want to talk about, let me know, or you want me to talk about, let me know, and I will see what I can do. Exercise related topics, of course. Bye.